Watch the ride.
Hey everybody, hope you're all doing alright out there. As you may know, I have this Bsa Goldstar on loan from Bsa to make some videos and a review on. I have already been making videos on this, and this part of my review series is going to be taking it onto the motorway to find out what it's like cruising at 70. I've already done a little bit of this, but I want to do a bit more of a sustained run. Now, there is something about this bike that's kind of interesting I discovered yesterday, and that is, I was down to 1 bar of fuel, and when I filled it up, it only took 6 litres to fill it. So from 1 bar to full was 6 litres, but this bike has a 12 litre tank. That tells me that this bike is telling you it's empty when it's got half a tank. I don't know if it was a weird one-off, I don't know if that's what they're all like, but as I say, it was on 1 bar for a long while, you know, it's going down progressively and normally looking, and then when I put 6 litres in it, it was full. Which only screams to me that 1 bar is half a tank. Look, no need to filter to the front, got my position here, nice and safe, seeing this driver, he's cool with it, and we'll be fine. Apparently this is lethal, doing this. This is going there, between those 2 cars, and then trying to have a amber gambler going on green or amber fight with these 2. That would be safe, but being here is dangerous. Literally. I don't know what the hell people are on about. Let's go! Okay, so the rev limiter's around 7. Okay, so I'm currently in 5th gear, doing just under 60, 3,000 RPM. And I'm in top gear, so 5th, because it hasn't got 6th gears. And you'd think that at this point you wouldn't be able to get on it. I'm actually going to come off the motorway here just to show you this. Roll on. This bike is like a little train. Anyway, I need to get back on the motorway now. Amazing when you have to leave the motorway to try and speed up. Oh, do we know where we're going? Alright, so we got a sustained, I had a sustained 70. I have to stay on the motorway to go a bit further to try and actually do this. Well, amazingly, I had real problems there sitting at 70 for any amount of time, but I can confirm from what I previously thought, which is that this at 70 in 5th gear is barely trying the engine, and it still can roll on, which is really nice. Don't worry, I will be giving it another try on the way out of the city. I just need to come in and, well, I wanted to test it in a city, you know, something a bit more built up. And I also need to go and speak to someone down here, so I'm going to do it all in one go, and I say we'll hit the motorway on the way back. Oh, I just saw myself in a reflection on this bike. It looks cool. I think there's something very cool about classic old bikes with someone with more modern gear on. I don't know, it's just, this is the thing, right? I love classic bikes, but if you're on a classic bike wearing classic gear and you don't fall into that like recreation type thing where, you know, like Goodwood Festival speed, all that sort of stuff makes sense. If you're not actually wearing authentic clothes of the day, you're just wearing something brown, well then you fall into that like hipster class. I think there's something cooler about seeing someone on an old bike but with modern gear, because it's like, it's not saying, look, I want to be in the old days, it's saying, look, the old days were still good now. And in all the years I've been riding and reviewing bikes, I feel like we've gone from more unique, different, characterful bikes to everything's kind of the same. You know, no one really makes a bad bike these days. You can have a bad price, but the bike itself, it's going to be acceptable, it's going to be good. I mean, in most cases, you know, you get on a bike, it does everything you would need it to do, depending on the CC. It has to become some nuanced argument about bar vibrations at 3,500 RPM or something like that. I also went hunting around on the internet to find some clips of this bike without the baffle in. Sounds way better. It sounds fine. I mean, it's still a little quiet because it's got a cat in it, but that's fine. I do think with the baffle out, this sounds massively improved. I have also heard it with a custom exhaust system on it, and they sound great. I also made a mistake in an earlier video, which I did correct on screen, where I was saying this bike was $6,000, and I thought it was a good deal at $6,000. It's $5,000. It's cheaper. It's cheaper than a YZF 125. A 650 single BSA of the new era, sure, but $5,000. This feels like something from the past. Yeah, that's cool. Not putting the feet down. This is quite easy to balance, because it is heavy-ish, but it was all very much low down. Can you please, because I don't want to put my feet down. There we go. We won that round. This bike does well in the city. The upright seating position, obviously, where you're not like trying to crane your neck at an angle, because you can just turn your neck nicely. It feels nice. It feels like a good, comfortable, fun bike. I'm enjoying just tooling around today on this, because that's literally all I'm doing today with this. I'm just tooling around. There is a purpose eventually. When you see the owl with a spanner, turn left. And you found an Andy Sill. Where does that go? It's a road I've never been down before. What on earth is this road? This strikes me as being related to something very old in Portsmouth. Right, well, I'm now down in Southsea. It was good to have a little catch up with Andy Sill. Great guy. And that was basically to arrange a review in the future. Also, great to see his dad. Andy Sill's dad, if you've never met him, he's absolute legend of a man. Really nice and friendly. And he saw the BSA and he was like, oh, that's nice. Isn't it nice? It's just so simple, like the old days. And I'm like, that's exactly it, mate. This is what makes this bike nice. It's just a bike. Engine, seat, tank. Yeah, okay, it's got some modern stuff on it because it needs it these days, but... Oh, well, they're still doing the seat defences, aren't they? Right, well, we can't go this way then. Check out the turning circle. It's pretty good. Right, well, this was about a motorway test anyway, so let's head out the city and get back onto that motorway. Because this bike's exhaust is so far out the back, the rider hears a very different tone, I'm noticing, to what I do, because I'm hearing it bounce off cars. I'm going to go into Gun Wharf's underground car park and see what this bike sounds like down there, and then we'll hit the motorway out of the city. You see what I mean about you just putt this thing around at low RPMs and it's not bogging, it's just got the torque and it's happy to do that. Oh, it's nice and warm down here. Oh, I kind of feel like chilling out down here for a bit, but I won't because I'll get warm when I get on the motorway and I'm going to be cold. Then we go through the specialist bike lane. And we're free. Okay, actually, I thought it was going to sound a lot different in there. It really doesn't. It sounds what it sounds like. Let's do a little bit of filtering to find out. Well, this is actually quite nice to filter because the handlebars are the widest thing on it, so as long as your hands fit through, you'll fit through. Easy peasy. And it's not too wide. There's something I will say about this bike that I like. The bars are the right width. They're not too narrow and they're not too wide. They are perfect. That's something I get quite fussy about, because if bikes have got too short handlebars, with my wide shoulders, it's very uncomfortable, and it also just doesn't make the bike pleasant. The wider they are, yeah, you get more leverage and control over it, but then you get the point where it's too wide. But this is at that. It's perfect. Perfect. Another good example of taking a gap without going to the front. Oh, I did it again. I did that thing that apparently is lethal. That's when we go past a Norton. Seems very appropriate. So as I say, yeah, cruising at like 60, fourth gear is like 4,000 RPM. I don't need fifth yet. I will need fifth when I get closer to 70, but before then it doesn't need it. The gearing's that long. But it doesn't make it feel sluggish because it still rolls on. I literally just need to sit at 70 miles an hour for a few seconds, and it's difficult. Here we go! Right, 70 and fifth gear is 4 and a bit thousand RPM. That is literally all I really need. That's the best I'm going to do. That's the best. I'm doing 50 again. It's a little over 4,000 RPM. The point is, this bike is actually happy to do motorway speeds. Just to clarify, this is a single cylinder that is happy to do motorway speeds because of the length of the gearing and the torque that it has. That's new to me. I have a DR that can't do this comfortably. Suspension on the bump. Not too bad. And on this road, which is the bumpiest road in Hampshire at the moment till they fix it. Yeah, you may have noticed me mention that the back end is a bit bouncy, it's a bit soft. I wondered if it was just under-damped, and I don't think it is. The damping's working now. To be fair, this is built for comfort, not sports bike-like suspension. This is why it's important to have bikes to review for a few days and try them in different scenarios. I really, really like this bike. I'm starting to really like this bike a lot. Like, this would do everything my DR does, but actually better. Okay, not off-road as much. Well, I'd love to take one of these off-road. That would be proper fun. But I'm just saying, maybe it hasn't got the long travel suspension and stuff like that quite as much. But this is more capable than my DR is. It's more comfortable than my DR is. It's just, it's full of charm and character because it's just so non-offensive and just does what you want it to do. If this motorcycle was a dog, it would be a golden retriever. A good old boy. Well, there we go. I think I've answered everything I wanted to know for this video. If you enjoyed the video, do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here. Support me through Patreon and YouTube memberships. I really appreciate that. As you may know, when I do my reviews, I basically have several episodes and it culminates with a full review at the end. We're near the end of the individual videos, maybe one or two more, I'm not sure. And the review will come at the end, as I say. So subscribe to see that. Till the next one, bye-bye.